Roles of a denizen. A content creator is a user that creates posts and is rewarded based on the quality of their content. A content evaluator is a user that helps assess the quality of content and enforces community standards. The evaluator is effectively taking part in a marketplace to curate content and is rewarded for early evaluation. A content consumer is a user that wishes to find and consume the most valuable content in a given subject area or within a community. A lair owner is a person holding tokenized ownership of all or part of a community lair. Owners are rewarded with a portion of all mining activity happening within their lair. Owners are incentivized to build the best community of content creators and evaluators.
What is up, denizens? And what's up, Gravity Crab, with that mustache you got over there that you're tugging on?
And it looks all crappy at the moment. I didn't do anything to it this morning.
Well, that's what happens when you wake up and start doing stuff before you're awake and ready to do stuff, man.
Yeah, that's kind of what we do.
That's why we're here.
You look like you did the same thing. Where the hell are you at?
I just moved the camera. I was given a presentation on Den yesterday in New York.
Really?
Remotely.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I should probably watch that.
And
that's really
two of my good friends recently told me that I should do something about my background.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I know. It's just a messy spot in the back. I don't know. And then I use Firefox, so I can't do the background blur. I get a message saying your browser doesn't support making your background.
Doesn't it piss you off so much that it's like, man, I want to use a browser that's not trying to steal all my stuff. And it's like, oh, well, shit.
Yeah,
now
it literally was like, please use Chrome is what it said. And I was like, please, no.
Every time I'm just like, no, I don't need whatever you're selling.
Yeah.
Not do that.
That's
it looks fantastic.
Yeah. Well, it's better than it was. It looks like it's not just a stack of junk.
I just realized where you. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's just the back door, man.
It took me a second to realize where you were even sitting.
So it is Wednesday. Good morning,
my dudes.
We got episode 39. This may end up being the last one, and for the next 2 weeks, because I'm gonna be here next week on Wednesday, so I could do it, but I'm also leaving Thursday morning, and so I'm packing to go. I'm going to Iceland.
Right. Yeah. How long are you gonna be gone?
So I'll be gone a week and a half. Week and a half. So I'll miss one episode at least. And so I have started putting together a spreadsheet of everybody who's interacted with this show in the past, people who have been here, people who have replied, left things to talk about, and just tallying up all of them. And so what I'm thinking is, once I get back from Iceland on the, I guess it'll be like August 17th or something. What is that? Let's look. August 17th, that show. I want that to be in our new layer. Oh,
hell yeah.
I'm doing is I'm tallying up everyone who's been participating and stuff. And then at that's going to end up being the share of the show you get. Right. So we can look at that. It's incomplete, but we can look and see how I'm doing that.
We should make sure IAM gets nothing. Absolutely zero. We'll send him one silver coin in a fanny pack.
Yeah, in a fanny pack. Yeah. So yeah, I got through the last 3 episodes, and it's pretty easy, but it's manual. I just have to go through and say, all right, who left stuff to talk about, scrub through the video, who came on, and then I give you a tally mark. And one appearance is one lot. Now, what I haven't done is figured out, and this is how I think I might do it, because there's a difference between going out of your way to join and converse and come on the show, and going out of your way to make sure that you leave something in there in the reply section so we have stuff to talk about. Should those be equal? Should we have a multiplier on how many times you've come on the show? right? That would give us a big advantage, but it would take away the percentage of ownership from everybody else. So we can talk about that a little bit, I guess, and see what's fair.
Let's see. How do I like that?
Yeah. Oh, and Like Point Lisa is listening in. What's up? Where's your lair? Yeah, we were just talking about that. Probably middle of August, I think. I'm tallying up who gets ownership right now, which, I hadn't thought about it. I wonder if I should go through and scrub through the YouTube chats too, because there's more than one place to interact.
Yeah, probably a good idea to get it from everywhere.
Yep. All right, so we've got top posts is the theme today. We haven't done just a regular top post episode in a while.
So this is going to derail like immediately.
Well, let's try to, if we're going to have our own, let's grow up a little bit. If we're going to have our own layer.
Oh, God. Okay, here we go. The whole point of this show is get up and see how things go.
Yeah, I know. But, it's like I was thinking also, there's a couple of shows that I do on Den. One of them is this. One of them is World Blockchain Roundtable. Mm. And I think I'm definitely on the verge of a proposal, because we're going to run this the same way, where everybody who participates is an owner and can propose governance changes to the way that it's done. And I think what I'm going to do, unless I'm talked out of it, but I might do it anyway, just to see what everybody votes on. At the beginning of every episode, we have a current events section, which is fantastic. That's great. Recently, I realized that I was trying to pitch the show to somebody, and I was like, oh, let me go find a good episode. And every single time, the current events is nothing to do with the episode, which is fine, totally fine. But for I don't know, it's just, I guess I was self-analyzing a bit and looking at the flow of the show. I wonder if we should restrict, and I hate to use that term, but restrict the current events section to be about current events as they relate to the topic at hand. You know what I mean? Or current events as they relate to blockchain and cryptocurrency and stuff like that. Because right now it's like we got into a debate about abortion. We got into a debate about we talk about politics a lot in the current events, because the world's burning and melting down. So I don't know. I'm just wondering if that's a turnoff for people that are there for a blockchain show. You know what I mean? Versus there for a talk show about the world. I don't know. Just some thoughts.
We really need. No.
There's the answer.
No, please. I love it. We need a whole show dedicated to just ranting about everything bad that's happening on the planet.
We had one. We had a full current events show where the entire episode was nothing but current events.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, the next one that comes around, maybe. It is a blockchain show. But it was basically, it was fine. I didn't hate it at all. I was just trying to I was overanalyzing, David, is what I was doing. I was overanalyzing.
Oh, we've never been known to do that before, have we?
Good morning to I Am for I Am.
Howdy, buddy. See you in a little bit.
Well, in a little bit, he's charging up. He's charging up.
You done did.
He's either feeding the animals or charging up.
He's actually sitting there plugged into himself, electrically charging up.
Oh yeah, and also speaking of Lisa, Lisa proposed on the WBRT layer that the host could post with the most. And now I just want to rhyme. Let me drink some more coffee. That the host could post their content in the layer along with just WBRT episodes and things like that. Right now, only the World Blockchain Roundtable account itself, so the business, can post in there. Anybody can reply. That's how we get the topics and stuff in. Mm-hmm. But right now, nobody else can post. So I think there is a new proposal, maybe a bit by the coin, put it up, to change the settings. So you have to change the settings, it's another governance vote, because everything is decentralized. So if you see in the WBRT, actually, we're talking about it. Let's look at it.
Yeah, we can.
If you go to governance,
can visually show examples.
Yeah, if you go to governance and you go to WBERT, let's see.
WBERT.
I just made that up.
That's what I'm calling it from now on.
WBERT. So there's this. It says allow hosts to post content over as per the VI. The inability to speak acronyms approved here. So this is a particular user, OS4 Denizen. I don't like to use the word user. And the way that we're doing this, I think, is that lot holders are going to get the ability to, if you hold lot, then you can post. Now, unfortunately, right now, I think that means, let me just see here. Yeah. So there's different, looks like you can do more than one at a time. Great. So these are all lot holders in World Blockchain. And what these are doing is they're proposals put up by WBRT referencing Lisa's governance proposal that did pass, saying, as per this, we're changing the settings to allow all these people to post. And if you, as you see, Litecoin Lisa's in there right there because Litecoin Lisa is a lot holder, right? So what this is going to do is it's going to enable anybody who holds lot or has been on the show, which they hold lot, to post in there. And anybody who does not have lot, and you can look at that list just by going to the thing and opening the deal. Why am I not following my own? Okay. And then you can see, here's all the people, right?
Did you break something or is this a UI update?
There is two things going on. There is a UI.
Yeah, I
update.
have no idea what's happening this week. So I'm primed for you to just babble about cool events.
Far out. Well, then let me just refresh this. And since I'm here, let's just vote on it and say, yep, I'm down. So I'm going to put in my 12%, almost 13% vote on each of these to say yes. If you have ever participated over on that end, then go vote. And I would say please vote it in because it's already passed. This is just changing the settings to enable what was already approved. So boom, 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 commit, commit, commit. All right. Now, since we're here, you want to look at the craft beer stuff? We have new layers.
Oh, that's right. There's new layers that won.
Yeah, what have you missed? We've got new layers.
So last time, I know the new layers that won from last week. I don't remember. I haven't seen any of the new ones yet. Actually, I need to go and subscribe to the craft beer one, even though I don't currently drink beer.
Sorry, I'm multitasking. I realized that people were talking, and I was like, oh, multitask. I'm not multiplexing yet.
Not multiplex. Well, we haven't evolved hard enough to be able to do multiple things with our brains like that yet. So, oh God, no! Snap, go away. Sorry. Linux decided to rear its head in the corner and say, "Hey, Firefox wants to update with the Snap package." And I'm like, "No, can we not with anything Snap related ever? Like, I'll change to the flat black, please."
So as I go through and vote on some of these things, Lisa's asking if there's a chat on Den we could all be in while live on the show. I would say yes as soon as we get our own layer. Right now, it's just in the Den layer. So it's Den chat is what it is. I'm just not in there at the moment.
I didn't even think about that. That would be really cool.
We should probably man the chat room. You know what I mean?
Once we have our layer, like that would be really cool to be able to have. Because we do have Den chat for every layer, so that works.
Yes, individually. Yeah, each individual layer has its own chat room. We should go into that here and show that. I'm just going to vote for all of this and say yes.
Ooh, banner
because there's no banner yet and there's no avatar because it's brand new. So I'm going to vote in whatever Jacob Wayne wants. And here's my proposal, which is, hey, I got some beers I haven't tried, which is a problem. Which one should I try first? Just to demonstrate the flexibility of the governance system. You can do anything you want. You could say, where should we go to lunch today? You know.
Oh, that's a cool idea. Like
so then I'll just review it. I'll make a video. I'll drink it, and I'll show the color of it, and I'll describe the taste, and I'll give it a rating, and then I'll post it in the beer layer and make a couple of dollars, and maybe use those couple of dollars to buy another beer to do another review.
Can you explain something to me?
Yeah. Can I vote on my own? I should not be able to vote on my own. Oh.
It usually tells me that I can't.
Maybe it was proposed by a different account. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
What in the name of God is the appeal of a sour beer? Isn't that what you're trying to get away from?
No.
Like every time that I've been you've given me a sour. Okay, in my life now, you have given me 3 sours.
I know. I'm given you extra sour ones.
Knowing damn well that I don't like them, right? And you've always been like, no, this one will be all right. And then you give it to me, and I'm just like, this tastes like it's rancid.
It's kind of like, so if you aren't into it, it's kind of like your buddy saying, oh, this is terrible. You got to try this.
Oh God, is that really why? And
That's
then like
not
you get
why.
a
No,
weird
no, no, no.
enjoyment
It's
later. Okay,
delicious unless they do something
no.
stupid like add lactose to make it like a milkshake and stuff like that.
Okay, that sounds wrong. I had
Yeah,
a I had
well,
a
it's a popular
chocolate
thing,
milk
man.
there
I don't know
once.
why, but it's a popular thing.
I remember you carbonating a bunch of stuff once.
Oh yeah, it was not a good idea.
But,
Well, we
yeah,
got a
so
hold of.
sours, I just can't. I cannot deal with sours. It's
I like
it's
them.
the same
I
thought
like 'em a lot.
as so. You know, a lot of times in other countries, people will have like fermented food, like kimchi and like fermented fish and things like that. It's the same thing. Like I don't. Why? Why would you just
No, I'm not a
random
fan.
food?
I'll give you that. I'm not a fan of kimchi.
I'm not either. So many people I know are like, I love kimchi. And I'm just like, why? Like,
There's
no,
yeah,
nasty cabbage.
yeah. Not a fan of kimchi. I like everything almost, but not a fan of kimchi. Not a fan of sauerkraut unless it's on a Reuben or
Mm-mm.
maybe sometimes occasionally a sausage or something. But
I
otherwise,
could maybe
sauerkraut's like a
see.
meh kind of
I
thing.
could see like a little. For me, it would have to be like the tiniest slivers of sauerkraut in with a sausage to be appealing. Oh,
I was looking through what was posted to Den recently, and I saw this, and I was like, "Look at that! The Goths grew up and got old too, but they never lost the vibe."
what the
You know,
hell?
like the Goths that like to hang out in graveyards because it's
Oh,
cool
oh,
and wear
oh!
black and
I
all that.
know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
I'm just.
I mean, it's probably sweet. I'm sure they used to hang out on the beach together and stuff. It's probably awesome, but it is an interesting like juxtaposition.
I like to imagine that they didn't hang out on the beach together and they just hung out on graves together. Like they're the guy she's hanging out with not even dead. Oh God, did you bring up the vomit jelly beans? Why would
I
you
forgot
do
about
that?
those.
We were in St. Augustine this weekend and last weekend and we almost bought one of those Bean Boozled things. I've never so they used to have one in there that was like a skunk, flavored one or whatever.
Oh,
And you
really?
could smell how bad it tasted, like through the outside shell of the bean. It was sorry, you're bringing up bad things.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm here for it. It was
I don't know.
bad.
No, you're bringing up bad memories.
Oh, let's talk about ice cream. That's much more
I
nice.
love ice cream.
I'm just
That's a
checking
really
out
nice
the
ice cream
their
cone.
most recent image. Oh, actually, I'm not even voting on them. What am I doing? So that's cool. That's a photograph. It's original. I'll throw 233 on it, and I'll go ahead and vote for the tags too. And yeah, it is a portrait.
I don't know why I really want to see those ice cream cones touch.
Well, they're so close.
Yeah.
They're like cheersing right here, but not
Maybe
quite.
it's a Freudian thing.
If they touch, they would fall. You think that if you touch those two, like, are you a physics person? I don't know. Are they going to stick
No,
together and then pull off of the
they're
cone?
definitely gonna stick together a little bit at the top and like get a little twinge of colors. But if they're staying up that high, they're solid. You can probably clink them pretty hard.
I just want to say shout out to Cap Chef. This is actually kind of a cool beat here. I just don't understand unless you're trying to do SEO optimization. I don't understand what's happening here. If you want to do SEO optimization in the body of a post, go for it. But like maybe write something else too.
I didn't even realize that. I
Yeah.
hadn't noticed that this was not a paragraph. It's just a bunch of
It's
words.
just a bunch of things. Yeah. If you're
That's
on
not
YouTube, this is probably the tags they put in YouTube or something. Because if you're on YouTube, this is exactly how you write them. You put a comma between the different tags, and it separates them for you.
God, it's been so long since I've uploaded
but we are
YouTube.
not that.
I forgot about that.
It's pretty cool though. I don't know if you can hear it.
I might be able to.
Can you hear that?
Negative. Why
No?
did I put my head closer?
Lisa always tells me there's a button to turn on the sound, but then I never find it on mine. Maybe it's a Firefox thing, right?
She's gonna be so mad. She's already gonna know that you can't find the button.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, "No, it's right there, dude."
So you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna. Well, no, because I don't have your same powers on whatever we're using, Stream Deck.
No. Oh, we do have new features coming.
Yeah, what new features we got? What was that thing with all the people that were all separated instead of just in one big mega cluster?
Oh, I don't know. You mean when I looked at the owners?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be the shape that I have my browser in. Let's look. Let's go to a layer.
So it's not supposed to do that. Gotcha.
Let's go to humor and look at it. There they are. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what layer that was, but it could have just been a UI thing. It's adaptive. So like if you notice, let me just do it. If I change,
hey, we figured it out.
And then it all goes like that.
Yeah.
Like on a phone.
Let's leave it in that view for the whole rest of the day.
No, let's not.
Oh, and then it just starts doing this whole big dead space thing on the side.
So what's going on? Speaking of current events, what's going on, man? I Am's on. Oh, he's poolside today.
Poolside?
Looks like it, yeah.
Well, wherever
I see him in the secret lobby.
In the secret lobby? Well, as for me, not too terribly much. Working a whole bunch.
Oh, the 3 dots on the box. Yeah, you know what? But I clicked the 3 dots, Lisa, and it says nothing about adding audio. So I am just not. Oh, wait, there's different 3 dots.
He's just not good enough with this somehow.
Anyway, we're past it. It's fine. Oh man, let's see
what's going on.
Let's bring IM folks.
Good morning.
What's up,
I'm
man?
moving.
Welcome.
There's that.
Are you moving?
Yeah, where literally I can see where I'm moving to from the window of my current apartment. So actually, if we're probably going to be skipping an episode next week, this will be the last one I do from this apartment.
Well, that could be good timing then. I'm traveling, you're moving, and then we can come back together on the You ever watch Reboot, the TV show? Yeah, you do.
Yes, I have.
Come back and do a reboot. I hear an ocean.
I have a feeling that IM is going to be loud as hell.
I like how some people live in beautiful locations and they'll go into photography, like Pamika, and post original photographs from wherever they are. And it's like some people, like, I don't know, maybe so Venezuela and like I think Serbia, there's people that'll just take a walk and post it on Den, like, look how beautiful my country is. And you're right.
Does that all the time.
You know, right outside your front door, and it's awesome. I am. Speaking of beautiful locations, where are you, man? Welcome. Good morning to you. Let me solo you for a second. There we go. No, that's not the right one. Let me solo you for a second. There we go. Poolside at the beach, both at the same time. I wonder if the audio is not working. Could be.
Also, the question is this another jape, or is he actually poolside by the beach?
Nah, he's poolside. He's always exactly what the image says.
I forgot he's also Hide the Pain Herald.
So, yeah, I'm not moving, but I am traveling. I got Jacob Wayne's camera that I picked up from your shop. So Jacob Wayne owns the Texas Lair, a lot of it, also proposed the beer lair, and has a company that loans out equipment to people that are traveling, and then you can use it to film and take footage and stuff like that. And you can then send it back to him, and he'll cut a vacation video for you, which is pretty cool.
Which is awesome, I just want to point out.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, if he happens to drop by at some point here, working on that drive, but I think I got about all the data I'm going to get off of it.
Oh, yeah?
Hey,
yeah,
guys,
I got about
sorry
about it. Worth.
Oh, hey. That's all right. Oh, you must be wireless, sir. You're breaking up a bit.
He is in another dimension right now.
Go gadget, whatever is in your fanny pack that brings you back to this dimension.
I forgot about the fanny pack already.
Toledo.
Somebody was pitching fanny packs to me as a good idea the other day, and I had to explain to them that you have already been trying to bring fanny packs back, and I don't know how to feel about the fact that it's working.
If they do come back, I want it to be my fault. I want to be responsible for it. I'll change my name to Fanny Pack Dave.
I don't know. That one girl said she liked my 90s dad vibe, and she had a cool fanny pack. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the video's there. I am. Your video's there. You're just not. You're not very audible.
Yeah.
Audioable.
It's cutting in and out. Can you hear me now?
What? It's in now.
Yeah, for the moment.
So you're silhouetted. Nice work. Is this an actual?
Silhouetted.
This is an actual background.
This is actual background.
No kidding.
Right on.
As a matter of fact, unfortunately, it's silhouetted. This would
the silhouette of a coffee cup.
Yeah, it would tell you where I'm at, but it's silhouetted. I'm gonna give you a hint. Okay, Andy Dufresne. Name ring a bell?
No.
No.
Okay. Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman.
I know who those people are.
Okay.
It's wait, is Tim Robbins? I'm thinking of a different Robbins. Go ahead.
Prison movie.
Oh God.
Escape from New York.
No,
That would be wait, no, that's the Shawshank Redemption.
that's right. That's
Oh,
right.
okay.
And where did Andy go?
Oh Christ, I have no idea. I'm literally the worst at this. I haven't seen that in a while.
And now my battery says low again, even though I'm plugged in.
He's literally Googling it frantically.
Andy's Escape. Is this what you're talking about?
Oh, yes, I am.
Shawshank Redemption movie location was Sewatenejo.
Oh,
Sewahanejo. That's totally easy for me to
If
say.
you
as a
ever
Florida
get
boy.
out of this place, remember Sewatenejo.
Oh my God.
And Red says, okay. And they're walking on at the very end of the movie. It's this white sandy beach, blue water, and Andy's on top of a boat sanding it. And Red is walking up, which is Morgan Freeman, is walking up to the beach on the beach. And then the camera pans out, and he runs to him, and they give each other a big hug at the end. And supposedly that's Sewatenejo. So anyway, that is where I am.
Today.
And I don't know how much longer this is going to last because my internet connection, we got a storm getting ready to come in.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's a silhouette. But I'm going to try something. Oh, and I'm trying to talk to my future self. I mean, my past self. Did you see that post?
Oh, yes. What is
Okay.
the answer to your past self, future you?
21,382. So is that pretty good or what? Does it make any sense? No.
Not a bit.
It's just like it's time
It's just
travel
like where it's
in the
been for a
reverse.
while.
What?
It's kind of been like this is where it's been for a while though, right? It's been like 21-ish, which is ironic because I love the number 21 because of Bitcoin. And it's just hanging out around 21.
Oh, Bitcoin prices. That's what we're on at the moment.
Yeah. So anyway, I was just making a joke that I was going to be time traveling, and I was asking myself.
Oh, that makes total sense. Okay, I get that.
What the
now.
price of Bitcoin was going to be in my posting on coffee.
I can't believe that you're actually like. There's a real video of a location that you're in.
Yeah, I'm going to try something. Let's see if it works.
Everything explodes.
Could you make my screen a little bit bigger?
Oh yeah, sure. That is a pool.
Gorgeous.
Oh, you're gonna see how far away it gets before the signal just says, "Nope, I'm done."
Well, I tested it yesterday. I could get past the fence.
Okay.
So this mountain is the Coyote Mountain.
Okay.
If I come over here.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see it. I just can't hear it. That's fine.
Those are the Moros. You're probably hearing all the waves.
Coyote and Moros.
Moros.
Trying to get the pronunciation correct.
Here's beach,
so cool.
empty lot. And,
that's cool. I love seeing like where people are.
Unfortunately, there are 13 people on the beach on Sunday. It was so crowded.
13 people? Oh my God! How did you manage?
I don't know. Are you catching
13
any of
them.
Guys? Was it too loud?
Oh, we got all.
Oh no, we got the whole man. It broke up a little bit there at the end, and now we just see the blue beach chair. But no, it was all there. Thanks for showing it off. We always just get the view of your closet instead, so it's nice to see what else is out there. That you're a free man now.
Oh, he's still in his closet.
Yeah. I escaped.
The world is his closet.
We're all in his closet. You don't get that.
Hey, I wanted to say real quick to Lisa, Jacob Wayne is the denizen who has the company that loans out cameras.
Dufresne and
no, go ahead. Sorry, I think you're breaking up, so it's coming in and out. I am. Okay, and so yeah, Jacob Wayne, DM him on Den. You should be able just to click the little message box here to DM the person. And I don't think, there's no minimum. If you don't know, some people can set a minimum tip amount where you're not even allowed to talk to them unless you tip them at least like 1 matter or 5 matter or whatever. So DM him about that. And yeah, maybe y'all can work something out. I know you have an event coming up, so if you need something, maybe he can help you out with that as far as equipment for cameras and stuff. But yeah, I'm taking some camera equipment with me to Iceland, and I'm going to use it. We're going to drive counterclockwise around the whole island, and then I'll send the camera back, and Jacob Wayne will cut some vacation footage and throw it up on the internets for us. It'll be cool. All right, let's bring our next guest up. Oops, clicking on buttons. Let me throw our next guest up here, who is I don't know, related maybe to last week's guest, but I'm not sure. Let's find out. I Am Frame is back, and then we have Mr. Neverfail. Never fails ever.
Hey guys,
how you doing? Good morning.
Hey, I'm Mr. Neverfail because I never fail to bring you the mail. I am. I used to be a mailman, and I lost my job because people like you stopped using the mail.
Email. So you're a victim of email?
Yeah, I'm a victim of technology. People stopped using like normal mail, and I just want to come on the show.
You can go on. Listen, hold on. I got to tear this down real quick. One, the mail is fine. Okay, they're out there in force. Two, okay. What the fuck? What do you mean? You're Mr. Never Fail.
Yeah,
how did you fail? Then how did you fail at being a mailman?
Look, okay. I never failed to bring you the mail. Okay. Other things I may not be very good at, like. Right now, I live in my mom's sunroom, okay? I don't have a bedroom necessarily, and I don't really call that a fail. I think I'm just moving in a different direction than other people, okay?
You're transitioning.
Yeah.
Wait, transitioning from one place to another.
Yeah, so like...
Oh, you do have to be specific about that these days. You're right.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, if I say transitioning, he's Mr. Neverfail is becoming Mrs. Neverfail.
So right now, I'm trying to make the mail cool, so maybe they'll give me my job back, if more people use the mail more.
I do think that there's a lot of room for kind of a rebirth of analog media, including snail mail.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, actually, when she goes out of town or when she moves, she leaves regularly for some reason and moves to different parts of the country. So whenever she does that, instead of sending us text messages and stuff, on top of that, she'll send us like messages and letters through the mail. So frequently I'll have like cool little letters. I like that more. It seems more personal, more enjoyable. Why are we going counterclockwise?
I agree. Yeah. You called it snail mail. Gonna be honest. That's kind of offensive in my
easy
circles.
A caveman can do it.
Okay, and it's not. There's different like coinage that you have to use for stamps. So like, I don't know. Maybe a caveman couldn't do it, buddy. Just
caveman couldn't. Can I get shirts that say maybe a caveman couldn't do it, buddy? With like a question mark.
You know what? We should look into merchandise. If the United States Mail ever hires me back, you got it, buddy.
They got some really cool trucks now.
Like legacy traditional mail. I won't call it snail mail if that's offensive.
Please don't call it snail mail.
It is still amazing to me, to be honest. And we'll talk about why counterclockwise on this trip. And I kind of need some ideas. Like, what should I? Give me a challenge, something not in the middle, around the edges.
You knew I was immediately going to say, go to that small dot of snow in the middle.
Yeah, not in the middle because we're going around the outskirts here. But
my challenge is survive.
It amazes me. It amazes me still, and simple things amaze me, I guess. But what was I going to say? Oh, the mail. You can give somebody like 50 cents for gas and say, can you take this from Florida to Washington State and deliver it to this specific person for me in hand? Thanks. And it'll get there, right? Imagine anybody in the world that you'd ask. Like, hey, here's 50 cents for gas. Can you just deliver this for me? It's crazy. I like it. It's good. People don't give it enough credit. Air travel, cell phones. We live in the future.
We are in the future, a very strangely cobbled together version of the future. I like the Star Trek version where we're all like, we have little thingies that go, and then we can like push a button and then be beamed up.
Can I ask you two something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can.
Mr. Dis7 Ant?
That's me. My
When's
sister
the
used
last
to call
time
me
you
that.
sent
She
a
never
letter?
understood. The last time I sent a letter, well, so my wife sends them because I'm lazy. But she's a postcard person, more of a postcard person.
When's the last time you sent a letter?
Oh, me? I vicariously lived through my wife, so I'll say last week.
People. Okay.
Cool. Huh?
Gravity.
Not in years.
You haven't sent a letter in years.
Nope. Why on earth? Look, there's this magical device. It says fresh, and I use it to communicate with most people.
Okay. Just want to say, both of you are the problems. One, Mr. Gravity Crap, at least you're honest, and you tell us you haven't sent a letter in years. How are we supposed to stay afloat if you're not sending letters?
Oh, that's
Talk
where
to
junk
each
mail
other.
comes in.
Junk mail keeps you.
I think that's like the
alive.
saving grace of the postal service is junk mail. Like all these auto car salespeople and the local grocery store that has food that's going to go bad if they don't put it on sale and send you a letter saying come buy it. Like all the stuff that you did goes. I used to have a recycling bin right underneath my mailbox, so I could just open the mailbox and then be like, if there's anything in here that matters, nope, right in the recycling. That kind of thing.
Every single apartment complex I've ever lived at has had a recycle bin or a garbage can at least right next to the mail. For that reason, I have a theory that the postal service is the people that send a lot of this, like the garbage mail, just to stay afloat.
Well, I would say that they
Wait,
solicit
so
for
saying-
advertisers to do so.
Well, that
You're
works.
saying
too.
the Postal Service is printing, creating, and manufacturing letters to send that at their own cost.
Oh no, I'm sure some dumb schmuck is paying for it.
This is the kind of thing that I would love to talk about in the conspiracy theory layer. We don't have one yet, but that's the kind of thing. Well, it just hasn't been voted in.
Can I just buy that? That sounds amazing.
Sure, yeah.
I feel like that'd be great, actually.
I'll get to Jacob Wayne's question in a minute, but now that we mention it, we did have some winning layers. I want to look and see what we got.
Yeah.
Did we do this yet? Last week? I don't know. Because we got craft beer preppers and
we did.
Yeah, we did that. Okay.
The modern man. I still
Oh,
love them.
they're what the difference is? They're live now.
They exist now.
Yeah.
So are you guys going anywhere specific in Iceland? I don't know a damn thing about Iceland.
Yeah, we are, man. So I kind of, and I'm trying to think. My wife hates this, but I'm gonna probably try to figure out how to spread the good word about Den while I'm over there. Like, hey, you should check out.
Oh my god! If you get two, this is my challenge. No, I can't do that. Tina will hate me. Never mind. Because you'll spend the whole time trying to fulfill that.
Yeah. No. So we're gonna fly in to. It's called Reykjavik, but it's not. It's way over here. It's in Reykjanesbær, right?
Yes.
Oh wait, here the Keflavik or whatever it's called, Keflavik Airport. So we fly in there. Thank you, the Great War, for putting an airport here because we needed a place to land halfway to Europe, which is how it got there. And then, then we're going to drive into Reykjavik and hang out there for like the first day or whatever. And then we're going to do, because this is I kind of like was demanding, I guess, that we at least on half of our stays overnight, that they're like 2 nights in a row. Cause I like to be in a place, to live in a place for like 2 nights and not just land there and sleep and then carry on and drive to the next one. So we're going to go.
I can see the logic in that.
Yeah. So we're going to go up here on this little peninsula here and we're going to stay, I forget, somewhere over here. There's a spot. And then from there, we're going to stay for like 2 days and we can go down into the peninsula that way. We can go up into this one. We were going to go and stay up here as well. Because look at this beach, bro. Right?
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? So it's like mountains and beach. So like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. But then I think we're just going to take a day trip into there.
How does that look
Then-
gorgeous from space?
I know. So then we're going to go over here to this town called whatever it's called. I can't pronounce any of these words. Akureyri? Yeah, I don't know. But we're going to stay there, right? And then that for 2 days. And then we'll get a little, we can branch off. Look at the sheer cliffs and like, let's go back here. 2D, 3D? Yeah.
I just remember that some asshole on Twitter a while back was claiming, for some reason, not Twitter, on TikTok. For some reason, TikTok is this hive of like false archaeological information. I don't know how better to put it.
Oh,
like,
really?
People explaining how like the Roman Empire was fake and shit like that. And because there's a calendar fix, how 300 years just didn't exist, so people could live in the year 1000. Even though that's not how we counted years at the time.
And then the years just never happened.
We just invented the Middle Ages. Just invented the Middle Ages. So there's some asshat on there that was claiming that at some point on the planet, on Earth, there was a superheating event. No explanation as to why. And the reason is because like the lightning from this superheating event shocked the ground here and caused these big cracks like this. Huh. Because it looks like when you heat up wood with like electricity and they do that.
Yeah. I've seen that, which is really cool.
Yeah. So that was his reasoning as to why that happened, why the world became a ball of molten rock at some point.
Because of lightning from space?
Mm-hmm.
Space lightning hit Earth? Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, never knew that.
now you know that it's the worst place on Earth.
Yeah. So then we're going to go over here. And I'll try to blog this since we're not doing a show or anything. I'll try to blog this along the way. I do have a hotspot ready. I have a 4x4 ready to pick up at the airport. And I've got a Wi-Fi hotspot ready to pick up at the airport. And we were finally able to find lodging. We almost had to cancel our plans and like go halfway and then go back around this way and then go back because we couldn't make the connection in the middle on the days we needed. But now we have. So then we're going to go over here and go over there and yada, yada. So this is the whole thing. We stay here as well for a couple of days.
How much of this place is just, I assume most of this is just barren land, right?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
That's cool.
I mean, farmland and, a couple of small cities.
That looks like a golf course.
Yeah. Golf courses, I'm sure Trump has golf courses here. This is creepy. Isn't it creepy how you can just look at people's like homestead?
If that's somebody's house, they're doing A-okay.
Yeah, that's somebody's house.
I want to golf there.
It's a farm, dude.
I mean, but I feel like it'd be great to golf on. Farmland is great to golf on.
So I'm looking forward to it. And, the whole nation is on geothermal, except for the automobiles. All their power is on geothermal.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of times how Iceland is just completely run by the planet being hot.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
And some of the hot springs, like we're going to go to some of the hot springs, and they are at the power plant. It's wild. There's like, because it's clean. There's no fuel being burned or anything, right? And so there's just a big pipe sticking up out of the ground.
Go to the hot springs.
Exactly.
Don't get sucked into a power pipe, please.
Look at this stuff. You have these lakes in the middle of an old like volcano basin kind of stuff.
That's where I want you to get a picture of.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to get a picture of that one, but I am going to get a picture of. Let's zoom out again.
That is exactly where you said don't send you.
Yeah, exactly.
To the middle of this freaking continent.
This is one of the last places. We're going to be in here somewhere. Between Hof and Horn. Hof and Hoffen.
Between Hof and Hoffen. You're going to real life Skyrim.
Oh, yeah, basically. Look at this with the black sand beaches and stuff.
Cool.
Right?
I've seen like pictures of Iceland.
So yeah, there's a couple of hot springs that we've already got pointed out, ready to go for us on our plan. Where is Reykjavik again? Here it is. And one of them, there's like a thing called the Golden Circle, and I forget where it's at, but there's stuff like here. Look at this. These sulfur hot springs. Look how cool that looks.
Oh, Lord, this place is gorgeous.
Yeah, I know. Look at this riverbed right here. It's fantastic. And then here's the road to get there. So that's why you need a 4-wheel drive.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was going to say, you do not get stuck.
Yeah. Well, no, we're
one-
driving through here, and it's going to be interesting.
Oh, my God. What the last show Dave is on is this one because he ends up lost in Iceland.
I've definitely thought about this, Lisa. There's because there's geothermal. I was reading a study where West Virginia, it was about West Virginia, and it was talking about a lot of things, including coal miners and things like that with the economy there. The economy. And apparently in West Virginia, there are like plausible locations for geothermal power plants. Like it could work out. So that could be interesting.
So are we moving to West Virginia?
Mr. Neverfail is failing to even move. Are you still there? You live, sir? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah,
Just checking.
That was jarring. That was not that was a spooky transition.
I'm just want to say I'm here. If you have any questions
Wait, in
about
Iceland
anything,
or here?
I'm happy to be give you the point of view of the mail, the U.S. mail,
Oops, that's not how you
the
spell that.
USM.
The question is, does she mean the weather in Iceland, West Virginia, or here?
I'm going to say Iceland because that's what we were talking about.
I'm gonna say it doesn't matter
So
because
that's
no matter
Blue
what
Ridge,
happens,
Georgia.
Yeah, there's no way on earth it's 78 degrees in Iceland right now.
How do you spell Reykjavik?
Oh
I
my
don't know how
God.
to spell that.
Sorry, my cat
I didn't
decided to
even
move
look
a
it up.
chair.
Iceland. Oh, Ireland, West Virginia. No. Iceland. I don't want. I gotta have a city. Okay, now I gotta figure out how to spell Reykjavik or something.
I can look like I'm hiding behind
Reyk.
Queen Lisa.
Reykkj. What was that you were saying?
It was like he's looking over her.
Okay.
Oh, it's not that bad there.
All right. So let's do the 10-day. That ain't bad. It's perfect. It's in the Fahrenheits. It's 50-40. Mid 50s during the day, mid 40s at night.
It's going to be rainy.
Rainy, apparently. Well, that's
Not very much snow in the forecast.
no, that's fine. All good. So yeah, there's your weather.
So I don't know if you know this, but the worst event that anybody's ever got their mail delivered in, it was a tornado that also had acid rain at the time. But the mail was still delivered. So like
Rain or shine or snow or sleet.
yeah, but you forget about acid rain. We still deliver in acid rain. Just want to let people know. So if you ever need something to go to somebody,
You don't work for the post office anymore, so
I'm
don't
trying to get my
deliver
job
that.
back.
Right.
I'm trying to get my job back. Okay.
Well, listen,
And
I
if
know
can
that
recruit some young
you've
people-
discovered.
If I can recruit young people on the internet to spread the word about the mail, maybe I'll get my job back.
You
Okay.
won't. You see, unfortunately, I know that you've learned that I work for the post office, and unfortunately, I'm not putting in a good word for you.
Wait, you work for the post office?
I mean, yeah, it's not that hard.
It is for Mr. Neverfail.
She's staring off into space.
Oh, it's not. Look, I worked for them then. I had a job. So I'm just like you, buddy. I just don't have that same job anymore.
What
And
am I
I just-
looking at?
So this was a question from Jacob Wayne about one of the new DAOs that are on Den is called Hodl Signal. And they've been working towards opening this up where you can go in, you can claim some assets that you already own. And when you do that, they will airdrop their new tokens to you. So you can kind of get in on this on launch without having to buy anything. And they'll just, what they want to do is they want to decentralize as quickly as possible. So they're saying, all right, anyone who's been using this blockchain stuff, any blockchain that you've been using, I think they said they have about 250 of them. If you send just a fraction of any amount of, any asset, like 0.00001 of a token, then that lets them, basically what you're doing is you're proving that you own that wallet to them, and then they will have a list of addresses, because the way blockchain typically works is you can see the address of whoever sent you any kind of tokens. So that'll give them a list of addresses to then airdrop out tokens to, if that makes sense, right? So Jacob Wayne was asking, like, what does all this mean? And I haven't done this, but I want to do this. And here's a screenshot of what the website looks like. And can you just walk me through it real quick? I think was the gist of the question.
Well, the good news is that's what we do.
I figured I would do that. Yeah. So they've got a form that you fill out. So well, I don't need to explain that. They've got a form you fill out. Blockchain name, you just put in arbitrary text, Avalanche, AVAX. It's just so they know, just like an indicator for them, like which one it is, human readable. And then the blockchain address is going to be the here. Let's see what I have. Does this show up if I do this? Yeah, it does. Probably shouldn't. So go in your MetaMask. I'm not going to log in, but here's your MetaMask. Open this up, and maybe you have Ethereum, and maybe you have also Avalanche and also Polygon, different things that you're connected to, because MetaMask can connect to all those networks. And so if you have any Matic for Polygon, if you have any AVAX from Avalanche, if you have any Ether from Ethereum, then you can use the different networks here, right? Binance Smart Chain, all of these are supported, and you could actually use every single one of them and get multiple airdrops if you want, and fill out the forms. So you send something from an address that you own on those networks. And your blockchain address is going to be whatever your Ethereum address is, whatever your Polygon address is, which is the same thing, whatever your Avalanche address is, which I think is the same thing. And you put that there. And that's so that they can reference it whenever they look at their logs and they see, oh, this is from you, right? And in your form, you said that's me, so they know. And then the transaction ID is going to be like on, if I go to Etherscan, for example, and you can pull this up in your wallet, like click on, you can say view on Block Explorer, and it'll take you to a transaction on whatever Block Explorer. And let's just pick one, latest transactions. Here's one, random in the world that happened just now. And so this transaction hash or transaction ID would be what you put in there. So let's say you clicked in your wallet, view on Block Explorer, and your name is barendaus.eth, right? You can see that this is where you reserved an ENS name. And you can go up here and copy this and give that transaction hash, and that'll let them verify, okay, cool, this transaction hash does match this address. And then HODL signal address would be your Polygon address. This is where you want your airdrop to go. So HODL signal is the DAO, and they're operating on Polygon, and their liquidity pool and their DEX is all on Polygon. So whenever you get your tokens, it's going to be coming to a Polygon address that you own. And that could be the same thing. If you only use one, it could be the same as your Ethereum address, right? But if you're like me and complicated, you'll have it segregated to multiple wallets, and you just want to pick which one you want your airdrop to go to. And that's what this is going to be, right? There's a note here. It says, if you do not know your HODL signal address, please see the MetaMask setup page on this website, or follow your favorite affiliate for additional help. Your Polygon or Matic address is the same as your HODL signal address. Okay. And then the last part is an affiliate address. If somebody said, hey, use my address as an affiliate address whenever you sign up, I guess they must have a program where they're like, hey, if you send your friends, tell them to put your address in as the affiliate address, so we know that you're responsible for bringing more people in. And I guess maybe they must airdrop you more for that. They have a whole website breaking it down. So I hope that explains it.
Well laid out, easy to follow. Also, I wish I had a bunch of random shit coins I could throw at that now. Other than I have a lot of the billion coin, which isn't even a real coin. That was a fun scam.
What was it?
One called the billion coin.
The billion coin?
Yeah, it was the most obvious scam on the planet. But it keeps telling me I have billions of dollars worth of money now, so that's great.
So in case Jacob Wayne isn't watching, I'm just going to say skip to 50 minutes in, and I've answered this here.
I have a question about the HODL thing.
Yes.
So basically, you give them like a small fraction of your money, and
Yes.
then they send you some money.
Yes.
That sounds like the plot to Superman in the future.
It does, doesn't it? Just
Right.
don't screw up
It's
the
like,
decimal place.
hey, send me a little bit of your electronic money, and it'll be great.
Yep.
I feel weary about it. I
All
think
right,
it'd be
don't do it.
better if everybody just found an envelope, okay? Put a
Okay,
stamp
How
go
did
for
I
it.
not know?
I didn't know. I should have guessed we were going here. Yeah.
Put a stamp on it, and put like $100 in it, okay, and send it to the United States, okay, U.S.
Just to America.
Send it to America, okay, and get a bond, get a U.S. bond, okay, but in your letter say please help the mail because people need jobs.
Could you imagine a letter just showing up to America?
To America.
$100
I've heard of
note
that happening before. Like somebody doesn't know where someone lives particularly, but they know what city they're in, and they've sent a letter to a city, small
Here.
town maybe, to be like to this person, and then they found him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But like, I couldn't imagine a note showing up to just the country, and inside of it, it's just please help the mail with like £100 note in it from the UK.
Can I ask you guys something?
Sure.
You will. Yeah. Go.
I don't have to. I can leave. You don't want me here. I get it.
Oh my God.
Okay.
What's up?
If I sent an email to like Hotmail and it was like, please deliver this to David, do you think they would search all of the internet?
Yeah,
to
not a
find them?
bit.
Probably not.
Yeah. But if you sent a letter, okay, and you're like, please find David, I'm going to try for you, buddy.
You'll find a David.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try. David, where do you live? What city do you live in?
You know the answer to this question.
Okay. I'm going to do a little Google search for you real quick.
That's one thing I like about having a common name is that it's hard to search for me on the internet.
It is really convenient.
Okay. According to this, it says you live in one of 38 different states. So I'm just going to, you know what? I'm going to say, if somebody wanted to send you a letter, David, I'd find you for you.
In 38 different states.
Yeah, because I'm Mr. Never Fail. I never fail to deliver the mail. Okay? You tell me that Hotmail cares about you. You tell me that Yahoo.com cares about you. You tell me that Gmail cares about you.
I don't think I would ever think that any of those services gave a shit about me. One of them's Google.
What while we're talking about that, that's kind of what some of the I said I was doing a demo of Den yesterday in New York.
I was curious about
remotely,
that.
But yeah, and one of the things was basically like talking about these quote unquote Web 2 companies versus what Web 3 is promising and becoming. And it's like, yeah, all these legacy companies like Gmail and the Facebooks of the world and things like that. No, they don't care about you. They care about their customers, right? And the customers are the advertisers, not the people that are using the platform.
Not a bit.
And so a lot of the reason that Den exists is because there's a better way to do that now. And until this whole blockchain thing happened, there was not a way to do what Facebook did in a more fair and equal and transparent way. There just wasn't a way to do it. You had to do it in a predatory sell data to advertisers way to pay for your company, right? And so yeah, like email, I hope I see one day, I hope I see a blockchain based private, email system or something that does not harvest your data, that is contained inside of the emails to sell to advertisers, which is what Gmail does. So if you don't think people are reading your emails, they are, and they're not people, they're robots. And the AI is getting really freaking good if you haven't noticed. To the point where AI might be people at some point. Maybe today. I don't know. It's a weird world.
You need to elaborate on that. What do you mean AI might be people?
Well, if you've been paying attention to AI news,
I feel like you've been reading a lot.
Well, recently there's a dispute. There's a Google researcher, I guess, who has here. Let me see. I bet I can find it on the internet. Google researcher claims AI sentience. I don't know how you spell sentience. Yeah, Google, and then the Google fired him. Let's
All
see.
right, I don't
actual
like that. I
Yep.
don't like that at all.
Well, the researcher, here's NPR. The researcher has said that the reason that Google has denied his claims is more or less because they have a rule against AI being allowed to become self-aware. So since they have safeguards in place and rules against it, it can't be self-aware and sentient if that's against the rules, whatever that means. Now, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't. What the hell? That's such a weirdly convoluted way to say don't let robots be people.
If you
also, is this the company that used to have like a "Don't be evil" tagline?
Yeah, and then they removed that,
which is still amazing to me.
The removal of it is the interesting thing to me.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, oh, it's cool to be evil now, I guess.
But yeah, so I listened to the interview that this dude threw down about the AI, and I listened to a reenactment. And this is the interesting thing. I listened to watched a reenactment between somebody who's a professional voice actor and somebody else who may or may not have been, but they were reenacting the literal transcripts between the researcher and the AI chatbot. And the reason I thought that was important is because it immediately puts it into the context of, if this was a person saying this, would you find them intelligent and self-aware, right? And it was good. It was interesting. It was thought-provoking. It was intelligent, is what it was. And I'm not sold, because I understand a lot about the basics of AI, not more the like advanced stuff, but I sort of know how that stuff works. And it's very plausible that it's just convincing in its responses, and it's designed to be convincing in its responses because it is meant to emulate a person for a help desk, right? This is a product that Google wants to sell to companies so they can have a chatbot that they don't have to pay, that can just be their help desk when you go to the website and it talks to you and you think it's a person, right? So because it's been designed to emulate a person and act like a person, of course it's emulating and acting like a person. But you can't help but to think, when you're listening to this conversation, and it is a conversation, it is a deep, meaningful, almost theological conversation at in some points of it. When you listen to somebody reenacting it, people, humans, and you're watching them say these things, and it's exactly what the AI said, just humanized. It's like, wow, okay, that I can see why the researcher was like, okay, I'm getting funny feelings about this. It's too much. This fucking thing is sentient. You know what I mean? And then he went to the news about it and was like, hey, Google's trying to smash this and they don't want people to know, and yada, yada. So that happened.
Well, that's something. Well, you just gave me what I'm completely looking into and watching today. So I'll text you about that later. But on top of that, I just want to throw this out there really quick. No matter how damn advanced the computer is behind it, aside from like quantum computing, if that ever becomes a smaller thing, if it is a computer program, it is not sentient, not a bit. It can't be. There's one magical element that is missing from a computer being able to be sentient in any way, and that is an internal model of reality. And there's no way in hell that we currently know how to program to a computer what is happening around it in reality.
Which brings me to my next point. We're putting that into this.
It's fine. It's still. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, is this Boston Dynamics?
Yes.
I fucking love this crazy shit that they do, but this is still just a robot with a piece of programming in it. It doesn't have a brain, which is why it will kill you indiscriminately and not give a shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like this is an extension of, when you apply this to decision-making processes, this is an extension of drone warfare, unmanned aerial vehicles, right? Now you have unmanned ground attack spiders, basically, which is
horrifying. Could you imagine you're laying in bed, right, and you've done something, and all of a sudden you just hear like your door open, and then like little clinking,
right?
Just little feet clinking around, shooting at you.
I know, and that pattern the walking pattern is so terrifying in itself.
I hate it. It has to be intentional.
It's all so synchronized and perfect, that kind of thing.
I just want to say that's probably the scariest shit I've ever seen for a mailman.
You've seen dogs that. Wait, hold on. What's this bundle of string found on Mars?
Yeah, but dogs don't have freaking machine guns on top of them.
Yeah, but dogs are terrifying.
Yeah, they don't have machine guns. That's much.
Not yet.
This is what that thing reminds me of. Is the Spider Mastermind? That dog.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, let me just fast forward through this. I don't know what last time you played Doom 2, but this is the Boston Dynamics. This is
it's exactly what it is.
This is the robot dog with the gun they're making. Is the Spider Mastermind?
Good boss fight, by the way.
Yeah.
That is terrifying.
You know what I mean? Like this is where we're leaning into as a.
I keep bringing up random crap over the past year at this point from the book Snow Crash because you made me read that.
Good.
It makes me think of the little rat thing, the little dogs that are like they run so fast. They have to run super fast to cool themselves down.
Yeah, and then they have to go right back in their doghouse where it's refrigerated.
Or they'll die, and like one of them gets there's like a whole chapter out of nowhere that is from the perspective of one of these weird dog things. And YT helps it. But yeah, no, that's what that reminds me of. And I don't like that at all.
This is Doom 1. This is not Doom 2.
Yeah,
still, you get the idea.
Excellent. The loathsome Spider-Man.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the kind of thing that's like, in 10 years, in 50 years, in 300 years, as a science fiction writer, which I am not one of, I can imagine extrapolating out Snow Crash. You brought up Snow Crash. That's a great example because Neil Stephenson, I guess, wrote that and had to predict based on current trends what the future might look like plausibly, right? And then we get to today and we read this old book from decades ago and it's got so many things right. You know what I mean? So
it's
many
scary.
things.
It's so stupidly spooky. Money is like a joke through the whole thing. It's like, to get you out of going to the Hooskow, you can give me $500 trillion. Like money's not even a thing in it at this point. The world is just this dystopian nightmare where if you ever see anything green growing out of the ground, it's like a shocking event.
Yeah.
VR, it's like everybody just wants to escape into the I think it's called the metaverse, isn't it? Yeah, like it's known as the metaverse.
It is, yeah.
In it, like that's the coined there. That's where the name
might have been coined there, yeah.
Yeah. So it's now. It's now, but a little bit later. Oh, also, side note: Epstein didn't kill himself.
Apparently, I'm trying to refresh, and that's all I get. They
look. Everybody needs to be reminded every now and then.
Hey, there's new firmware for your ledgers.
What the hell's a ledger?
That's a hardware wallet.
Oh, the ledger. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I saw that, and I thought this was like a tablet.
Oh, gotcha. No, there probably is one, but no.
Cool. It's neat.
Yeah, I don't know where we're going ultimately, but I can see where we're at and where we're sort of leaning, and it's kind of scary sometimes. Like the gatekeepers are back in crypto, Mm-hmm. I haven't seen this yet. What did Joe say here? Oh, this was back in 2019. Never mind. What am I doing?
You didn't hit the right button. You got to
organize. I know, man. I got to learn.
There's this cool little thing in the top there, and if you hit that, it turns into a clock.
Oh, here's something. New blog post out on Dragon Chain's website. That's going to be popular, so I'll go ahead and predict and vote on that. I'm also going to tag it for them since they didn't tag it as original. What's going on here? Life's not fair, but your contests are. Yeah, there's a good there's the provably fair contest thing is pretty cool. Basically it just proves that nobody who put on the contest in any way could potentially like have cheated you or known in advance what the result would be or anything like that. So that's what that's about.
I'm just picking through Den.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. That's what we're here for.
I keep seeing the old nun lady laying on the grave now, and I can't stop seeing it thanks to you.
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of Trump stuff that's been popping up in the politics layer again.
Did you see the thing from yesterday? Well, I didn't see the thing from yesterday yet, but apparently he was in Washington giving a bunch of speeches yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw something about it. In fact, somebody posted it in politics, and
he essentially all but announced that he's going to do a 2024 run.
This thing here. What did Trump say about the U.S.'s role in Ukraine? So Egypt Tales has original work that they post in here. It is sort of kind of like just advertising what they wrote on other websites, which I think is interesting. They're using Den as a source, as a place to advertise, not a place to publish. But whatever.
That works.
But I politely recommended that they try out the actual layer that's dedicated to this guy. I know it's
we pretend we've read.
I love this photo. It's an actual bookstore like category sign, I think.
How many of these books have you read?
I don't know. Have I read? So I have not.
How many have you read?
I have not read The Handmaiden's Tale.
Neither have I.
1984, The Hobbit. Yes. What is this? Is that like the Four Agreements or something? Is that who is that?
I can't really see it.
No, that's not the Four Agreements. The cover looks like that Miguel Ruiz book. And then there is, what is that? The Haunting. I think I saw a movie. I didn't read it. And then there's, I don't know what that is. The Alchemist I've read, which is really interesting.
I have not. I probably should.
The Odyssey, I have read it, like half of that.
I was going to say, if you haven't, you really should, because the Odyssey
it's interesting. Wait,
it is a brick.
It was either the Iliad or the Odyssey, and I feel
were you in Troy?
It was a poem. They were on an island. They were, I don't know. There was a party.
And it started with an island?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, then you probably read the Odyssey.
Okay.
That's the Odyssey is Odysseus trying to get home. The Iliad is the Trojan horse.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know.
And, oh my God, is the Iliad a slog? The Odyssey is actually pretty fun to read for the most part if you get a good translation and you're okay with some crazy poetry noises. The Iliad is an absolute nightmare to read because it's like 500 pages of just exposition about the world around you, and it's all written in that like, oh, and he went back to his father's camp and his father's camp.
So you have to break out your chart and be like, wait, father.
Oh God, yeah, it's that kind of shit. It's that kind of stuff, but it's a good book. What are we looking at now?
What's going on over here? I don't know. One thing I think about the Biden administration is interesting is that it's really illustrative of like some of the things that the left and the right have in common. Not the people that politically think left or right, but the I guess I'm saying the political parties and the extreme differences that they pretend to have. But a lot of it's like, rules for thee, but not for me sort of thing, where, we're going to make sure everybody else follows the rules, but we're going to do whatever the hell we want. And Biden, same thing. He's talked all about how he, is for locking people up for having any amount of illegal substances on them and taking their property from them as a punishment and, really hammering people for being addicts or sick. Meanwhile, his son is doing all of these things. And it's just like, la, 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 la. We're not going to prosecute that because why? Because it's your son,
Just because.
And I see and hear a lot of people defending Joe by saying, well, why is everybody so obsessed with Hunter? he's not he's not in office, and he's not, a politician or whatever. So who cares what he does? That's the point. He's not a politician. He's not an elected official, but he's acting as one, and he's literally selling access to his dad and making profits from it. So all of this is proven and obvious, and is available for anybody who cares to go read about it and see the actual data and the actual evidence. But still, it's like, fingers in the ears. Anyway, that might not be what this is about. What's it about? Accused of propaganda for redefining the definition of the word recession. I did see something about not Biden, but the dude that was on the podium speaking for him was saying that 2 quarters of economic downturn is not technically the definition of a recession. And I'm just like, all right, well, beating around the bush to avoid the truth is not technically the definition of a lie either. But you're kind of doing it.
That down exactly. That's the same. You said the same thing. That's the same thing twice.
Yeah. Yeah, like that meme. Corporate wants you to see the difference between these 2 images. It's the same picture.
It's the same picture. Like, what do you mean? Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Lisa. I didn't know if you were still listening or not, but Lisa and I have dramatically different political opinions, and I value that. And we're, because we're able to talk about it and, at least have logical conversations about why our opinion is what it is, which is great. More adults in the world is what we need.
Yeah, that would be nice. It'd be nice to be able to have a political discussion without it turning into a screeching match from whatever side.
What is this? What is the internet? How is it changing our world? At first we will, this is, and this is something else where it's sort of related, like the internet web. We have at the end of August, we have a World Blockchain episode about Web 1, right? The history of Web 1 and stuff like that.
Cool.
And recently I was thinking, actually, I kind of want to go back to Web 1. Things are kind of terrible right now, and part of it is because people voluntarily collapsed into like 5 websites. There's the entire internet out there, right? Netscape Navigator came out, and it's like, oh my God, you can there's so much undiscovered. It's like a new frontier. You can just discover.
Explore it.
Yeah. And now it's like, nope, everything's in a half a dozen, maybe a dozen websites. And that's all people go to by and large. The social media platforms, the particular, maybe news outlets, maybe not even the news outlets, maybe just an aggregator like Google News or something. Right. And so you've taken this Web 1 concept of like the World Wide Web. And then there was AOL, right? There was that like little isolated box of AOL where you could go inside of their little metaverse, I guess.
Still can.
Yeah. Yeah? It's still a thing?
Oh, it's called AOL Gold. It costs $5 and it's a nightmare.
Really? That sounds fantastic. I would love to check it out.
It's fun. It's just as much fun as you think it is. It's like an email client, it's a browser. It's great.
Collapsed everything into a bunch of those AOL Golds, right? So that's literally what we have. We have like a dozen AOL Golds, and they 100%. All have their own little metaverse and their own little reality inside of them. And that's all people, that's the blinders. Okay, whatever these websites say is reality.
And right? then we have an AI.
And all this stuff happens in plain daylight with nationally broadcast meetings from World Economic Forum and from all these, like the IMF and even like the FBI and MI5 are giving joint announcements together on the same stage for the first time ever in history about how citizens of both nations need to go into their phone and think about like the fact that nation states are in there. This is warfare now. Like we have China who's literally catching up on lost time by going in and stealing. It's corporate espionage, and it is spying on an extreme level. And the FBI dude is saying, hey, go into your settings and hit the button that says reboot automatically every night while you're sleeping, because that kicks out the bad guys and they have to get back in again sometimes. And they're giving joint statements about how we need to clamp down on our the way we think about cybersecurity, because there are currently nation states attacking our citizens and getting into their devices and stuff like that. And our networks, the businesses have to assume that the adversary is already there. So all this is happening. but nobody's watching it. And you have stuff like this, where you have, what is this? And at first we will implant them in our clothes. And then we could imagine that we will implant them in our brains, in our skin. And then in the end, maybe, there will be direct communication between our brain and the digital world. What we see is kind of a fusion of the physical, digital, and biological world. And so that's like Internet of Things, but Internet of people, of bodies. I'm for it personally. You know, this is where I disagree with a lot of people that are scared of it. Chip me up, Bobby. I'm down. I want to be a cyborg, a voluntary cyborg.
I mean, yeah, there's some cool things to it, but I mean, we're saying things like, essentially technological warfare based on people being able to listen to everything you say, everything you do, or just get tons of information from a device in your pocket because you never turn it off and it never kicks anybody out. It's like the same thing that I complain about constantly, about how so many people trust everything to a literal company that has admitted to and been caught like stealing and selling data. And it's just like, is the reason that people have wild political views that don't make sense most of the time. Fucking Facebook, I'm just bitching about, but social media bad, world collapsing, things are terrifying.
And then, since we're on the politics layer, let's keep at it. How do we, as a species, how do we vet stuff, right? So here's something that I think is half bullshit and half real. And the problem is, it's just some words that's been downloaded from the internet from imageflip.com that somebody right-click saved and said, I'm going to put this in the politics layer as if it's my opinion. And then the title, there's a headline and there's a picture, but there's like, okay, and Joe said, is this true? I've not heard this before now. So we have to navigate the floodgates being opened, with information pouring out. Some of it's pouring out of Hunter's iPhone and laptop, and some of it's pouring out of like troll farms that are making shit up to make money because people get enticed and stuff like that. So here's an example of something that's like, I think it's half true. I would have to verify the rest of it. And it's talking about Ray Epps. If you ever look up Ray Epps, it's the person who was on the FBI most wanted list after the January 6th events. And if you look at the footage, like if you only look at the 5 websites, you're never going to see this. But if you look at the footage from those events, you'll see Ray directing everybody. You'll see Ray telling people, no, we got to go inside. We got to go inside the Capitol. And everybody around him is like, no, don't listen to this guy. Don't listen to this guy. You know what I mean? That's a terrible idea. Don't do that. And he's like, no, we got to go inside. And then he goes and he leads the initial breach of like pushing through the barrier. And then there's him and one other guy. The other guy was at the top of a tower. They called him scaffolding commander or something with a megaphone directing traffic, telling people where to go, right? Both of these people, nobody cares who they are, right? The guy, Ray, was removed from the FBI most wanted list, completely washed away. Now there's all this data and all this footage, and it's like, you want to look around like, guys, gals, everyone, why is it okay to just ignore shit because it's inconvenient? Yeah, it goes in the face of your perception of what happened, right? You don't want to believe that there were any false flag operations happening. But throughout history, it's been proven over and over and over again that even if it's not set up and even if it's not manufactured, politicians will never let a good tragedy go to waste or whatever. You know what I mean? It's going to be used and it's going to be leveraged in a way that people think they can politically leverage it. And so what I don't get is that people on the right will believe anything that's said on a freaking meme, and people on the left will refuse to believe anything that the people on the right say. That's my opinion, right? Mm-hmm. I just want to be careful about, I don't know who Robin Epps is, if she even exists. I don't know if they have any relation to Dominion voting systems. It could be somebody trying to bring legitimacy to an illegitimate conspiracy theory about Dominion voting systems by attaching something that is legitimate to it, right? So there's all these psyops going on and weird mind games. And so, yeah, all that is to say, I don't know how to vote on this. right? So I want to vote up because it's relevant to politics, but I want to vote down because it's like it offers zero evidence. It offers zero references. It's just making a claim that then people might, maybe I'm answering my own question. It's making a claim that you can't verify without doing some research, which people have forgotten how to do, I guess. So yeah, I think that's the answer. I'll vote it down because I don't want to see that as like, I don't want the politics layer to be this source of half-ass research, and that kind of thing. So there we go. I'm going to vote it down. I'm going to vote it down with 21 energy. And that's not anything against Dragon Chain Hodler. It's a very active denizen that I appreciate and value. But yeah, I just talked
essentially you can vote stuff down without feeling shitty about it sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. And I've told my friends too, like, stop being so nice. Tell me what sucks so we can fix it.
Yeah, roll with your opinions.
Yeah, and as Lisa said, he's a Fed. Yeah, Ray Epps is almost certainly a Fed. I can't think of any other explanation. That in itself is fine. If this had just said Ray Epps is a Fed, like, oh yeah, obviously that's almost common knowledge. But the rest of it, I hate mixing things in that are fuzzy, because then like, what if I don't, one thing at a time, guys. Let's pick it apart. Put in references,
Well, I mean, that's one of the ways that not, I won't say false information, but bad information gets spread. I mean, I don't know if there's a way to really classify that as something different, but taking something that is, verifiable and then fluffing the little bit up at the end. I mean, that's how, giant theories get spread.
And this is from the same denizen. And I just want, I'm not going to be mean here, but I do want to suggest, please put references in these posts, because people will believe anything they read, and I'd prefer not to have a big confusing mess of both true and untrue info. Thanks. So boom. And I will vote this one, South Dakota Congressman. That's not a South Dakota congressman. Demands answers from Bill Gates. So I don't know who the South Dakota congressman is, and I don't know anything about this. It's like, it's relevant. I'll give it one up. I don't know, man. I don't know how to judge politics posts. That's my problem. That's why I stay out of there. Like, I want people to be able to talk about stuff, but I don't want a source of misinformation either.
Now I'm just looking into why Bill Gates is buying a lot of farmland.
Probably because it's cheap.
Yeah,
it won't
probably
be for very long. I mean, I would, if I had a bunch of money, buy me up some farmland, make some farms,
Would you buy 268,000 acres across 19 states?
I don't know. Maybe if I had a reason to. He's doing all this stuff with like he has this machine that he I don't even know what's on the screen right now. Has the war in Russia and the years inevitable? Oh yeah, probably. He has this machine that's like an attempt at I guess you could say climate manipulation to fight against climate change kind of thing. But
the water purify thingy.
Yeah, it's like a big inefficient thing. And so they need a bunch of them all around the world scattered around. So it could be that he's buying up farmland everywhere because he wants to put all these climate machines on them. I have no idea.
Oh,
or maybe he's buying them up so that I don't know. He's already he's not leaving a legacy for his family, right? So I don't see he's not like he's already apparent. Maybe he's lying about this. I don't know, but apparently his kids aren't really in his will to get most of his billions. I mean, they're going to be well off. Don't get me wrong, but he's like, I don't know. He's not building like generational wealth that he's handing down. He's trying to apparently do something with stuff. I don't know. Or he's lying about it and he's buying it up because he knows there's going to be a societal collapse and he's going to need sources of food and everybody's going to be clamoring for food. And then if he controls the farmland, he controls the revenue from food sales, yada, yada. Could be a big old fat conspiracy. I don't know.
Well, color me this. If society collapses, who gives a shit if he owns it?
That's kind of why I like Gainesville, is that we're surrounded by farmland and we have easy access to 3 different interstates to go north, south, east, and west from here. There's oceans on all sides, and we have an active farmers market community where people can come in and sell food from the surrounding area. Strategically, I think it's a prepper's paradise. And yeah, I wouldn't care if Bill Gates owned all those farms. I would buy the food and eat it because I wanted it. And maybe he knows that. And maybe that's not a problem. I don't know. If you're a capitalist, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's been fun talking to you.
Yeah, it has.
But I gotta go make breakfast for my mom. Because I live in her Florida room.
Got to pay for it somehow. Yeah.
Yeah. If you need anything about the mail or delivering the mail,
Then
I got you. I got you.
We'll know who to ask. That's good. Good to know.
I'll put in a good word for you at the post office next time I'm mailing a letter.
Thank you, Mr. David, parentheses, Mr. Gravity Crab, parentheses, David, close parentheses. All right. Goodbye, 7, Ant. I don't know how to say that line in English. Den.Social.
That's right. Vertical line. Have a good one. But yeah, see, more on the politics stuff. It's like, I do want to talk about politics in here, but these are just internet memes that may or may not be true. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not necessarily a politically, like anything written up about politics. It's just a picture of something that is probably, or could be a thing, or might not even, is in some wildly out of context way. Who knows? I don't know anything about this.
This is, I mean, maybe it's true. I'll have to go look it up. Unfortunately, I have to go look it up myself, which means I'm going to find whatever the internet wants me to find. So the right way to do this would be to add a direct link to a source, so that, like, if I go search on it online, I'm going to find stuff from pro-gun people. I'm going to find stuff from anti-gun people. I'm going to find stuff that's been censored, stuff that's been altered. You know, if you think you have a source of information that people should check out, why don't you help us cut through the bullshit and give a direct link to it? That's all I'm saying. So, enough of politics. What else?
Oh, but I like politics. It's always so spicy when politics come into play.
This is what I'm talking about with like amazing views and awe and stuff like that. Is you have people that just live in cool spots that take photos and throw them on Den.
I should have taken a bunch of pictures of St. Augustine when I was down there. Or up over there? Over there. Yeah.
Oh, the rocket launch was cool. You missed that.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about that. How was that?
Yeah, we went and saw a rocket launch. There's a cool place. Let's go back to Google Earth. So enough about Iceland. We saw a rocket launch in Florida. Can I just go this way and find Florida? What's that?
We tend to beat now. That's
what's going on here. Is
that's Bermuda,
there.
Cuba, Florida. There we go.
So we went here, Titusville, and there was a rocket launch from
down
right here somewhere. Yeah. So let's see where we were in a little. All right. How do I search Google Maps? Google Maps. How do I do you? Here we go.
There you go.
So Playa Linda. How do you spell Playa Linda? Brewing Company Bricks Project. Boom. So there's this awesome brewery called Playa Linda, and they do Sunday brunch. And right across from here, stop moving. Right across, if you cut through, this is not there anymore. This is actually houses and stuff now. But there's a little, I guess you could call it a hole in the wall or dive bar called New York, right here. Right? And so if you come over here and park in this parking lot, there's a bar outside. You can get a beer. And there'll be a bunch of people with cameras set up here. Here's a little denizen's insight for you. A lot of people don't know about this spot, I think, because it's never crowded. And anyway, from here, from this grassy spot, you can look right across the bay at the launch pads.
Oh, the Saturn V launch center's there. Yeah.
So right across the little bay here is the rockets launching. And so you can see them launch. from right there without having to go, pay to get into Cape Canaveral. Or the
If you're looking for the actual launch pads, it's those 2 circles right above your mouse pointer.
Circles. Here.
Up,
Here?
yep. Those
Here?
there's
Yeah.
there's 2 there, and then there's one large one.
Where were we? We were here. So we were here. We would have been looking out directly that way, and it was off to the right. So it would have been whatever's right here, which is probably the 2 circles, like you said. Yeah.
Or this big guy here in the middle.
There's the big guy. Where's the?
Oh no, the vehicle assembly. So the vehicle assembly building is there, and then it would head down that track up towards the coast.
Yeah.
So stuff gets made there.
Like to the left of the VAB is what it was.
Yep. So it's that launch center probably right over there at the complex.
Oh, here's the VAB. Yes. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Can I just? What does this do? Nope. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, here's that, and then it must have been this one right here.
Yep.
Well, one of these. Cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, that looks like it's had a rough time. I guess they blow up massive piles of fuel onto it.
The one that I want to see that I don't know if I'll ever get an opportunity again is the Falcon Heavy, because that one has the 2 boosters that are strapped onto the side, as well as the central booster like the regular Falcon 9 has. And when that launches, the 2 boosters on the side, they disconnect first, and the center booster, the middle booster, keeps going out into space. And the 2 on the side actually return back to land and land together on the launch pads.
That is amazing, isn't it?
It like all synchronized, and automatic and stuff. So that's one that, unfortunately, I don't know if I'll ever be able to see that in person. I know I watched it live on TV when it the first time that it happened during the test, the Falcon Heavy test, and I literally cried. I was like, "Oh my God, I can't."
Science is now.
Yeah, right. And then more recently, if you watch the landings at sea on the drone ships, before the turbulence of it landing would disrupt the communications, and so you would not be able to see the feed, the video feed from the cameras and stuff. But they've gotten around that now too, and it's perfect. You can see it land, the legs deploy. It's just bullseye every single time. It's awesome.
It's just this wonderful bit of math, doing all kinds of calculations on the fly to land perfectly.
Yeah, well, if your son's ever at down in Cocoa Beach or in Titusville or Cape Canaveral, that's a spot. And then if it's a nighttime launch, that's a great place to see it during the day. Well, at nighttime, it's great to see it anywhere. But what I like, let's see, is if we go down. So let's see, where are we? Cape Canaveral, Cocoa Beach, somewhere out here. Right? Anywhere along here, you can get an Airbnb somewhere and then just walk out to the beach at 2 a.m. and look left, and you'll see like a sunrise, because the rocket launch at night, with it being so dark out, it's like it's massively just so bright. It's like a sunrise. So that's cool.
One of the cool things about growing up in Florida is you kind of forget that not everybody else in the world can see a rocket launch at least somewhat at any time when they happen from like their front porch. Because for the most part, I could have looked out and probably seen what you were watching much more closely, of course. But I could have looked up in the right direction and been like, "Oh, there's a rocket going up. Cool."
Yeah,
so
I did
just like part of it
from my house here, and I wouldn't have seen it. I was watching it on TV, but it was the right time in the morning, and we're in Florida. We're not too far away. We're way up here in Gainesville, right? Where's Gainesville? Right here, Lake City, Gainesville. So we're Gainesville, right? It's like if it was a straight line, you'd probably get there in an hour, but really it's a 2.5-hour drive. But we were looking up in the sky at the right time, and the way that the boosters, the exhaust plume, was manipulating I guess must have been like the water droplets and the water vapor in the atmosphere, gave it this sort of aurora effect. And it was like
cool.
During a sunrise. So the sun, it was early in the morning and the sun hadn't risen quite yet, but you could start seeing daybreak. And so in the sky, you had, because it was way up there, the reflection of the sunlight was such that it was reflecting at the right angle to our eyeballs. And it was just this big, weird, plumy aurora thing. It was fantastic.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Living here is kind of neat when you realize that it's after you get past the whole tropical rainforest thing.
Yeah. So check this out. You can help me decide something, and anybody who's interested can see what I'm doing here. Let me share something called a spreadsheet.
I've never seen a spreadsheet before. What is this technology we speak of?
Yeah. So I've got this spreadsheet here that I have only just begun. And what I'm doing is I'm keeping track on the right. Which ones have I checked already? Which episodes? And obviously I've only done 3. But I've been writing down denizen display names with their ID and how many times they have asked a question or have given us a topic to talk about or popped into as an appearance, popped into the show, right? So I'm calculating ourselves the same way with appearances as I am everybody else. And at the end, we'll get numbers, right? And this will be how many tokens you get. And that'll end up with the percentage. So
I get a feeling that I have appeared on the show more than twice.
Well, this is because I've only gotten through 3 episodes or 2 episodes or however. I got to look at the numbers, right? I've only looked at the last 3.
Oh, you're going backwards. Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
Back in time. So we're all currently on episode 39, which I will have to count later. So then actually we can count it right now. So I'm going in and I'm like, all right, Gravity Crab was here. So that puts Gravity Crab at 3. And I'll just put 39 here. And then T Swift or Die was technically here in disguise. So I'll put T Swift or Die at 2. And then I Am was here. So increment that to 3. And I'm here. So I'm
usually. Yeah, you're usually there.
And then we've got, who did we have? I'm not sharing that screen anymore, but I can go look. I know there was Jacob Wayne had a question that we talked about. So I can go to Jacob Wayne, increment that to 3. And then there was T Swift or Die that doesn't count.
No,
I don't think the host can increment their earnings by just, maybe. I don't know if it's a good question.
No, we don't get to post questions. Right. We're on here.
All right. So then there we go. Let's go back to the layers. Let's go to Den. Let's see if anybody else is in there. Because this is how I'm handing out. Oh. Lisa's here. Where's the button? What am I doing? There it is. Lisa, like when in here? Nope. So let's do Litecoin Lisa. And then I will get the ID later, and I will say 1 for now. But I got to go through and recount all of these because I got to go look at the YouTube comments now. I always forget about that. So the question is, do the appearances get a multiplier?
Nah.
Do you get 2 for every appearance instead of 1? Nah. It just is what it is? Okay, cool.
Yeah. We have such an open door policy when it comes to get your popcorn ready. I like that name. Mm-hmm. We have such an open door policy with people just kind of being able to drop in whenever they like. They can all, anybody listening to this could push a button and pop in. So
the call-in show.
The call-in show. So I think that's fair. I think having a multiplier on that's fair.
Thank you for the correction. Lisa Mighty. Now I gave Lisa, she has an event coming up, and I gave Lisa a handful of lot from the firearms layer. Ooh. And I think we might give her more. I got to finish up a description of it. It's going to be something that's in a silent auction, so people will be able to wait. It's for donation and for raising money for a cause. And then the silent auction, it'd be interesting because it'll be the first time I think that lot for a layer has been sold or auctioned in the real world. It'll be like a different kind of valuation. Like the first time pizza was purchased with Bitcoin, it was like the first time somebody was like, okay, 10,000 Bitcoin is 2 large pizzas. That's some sort of valuation. Somebody was willing to exchange that, And so what Lisa's doing is it kind of giving us that first sort of evaluation kind of thing,
I wonder how that pizza place is doing now.
What now? The pizza places?
I wonder how that pizza place is doing now.
Oh, I don't know where they got it from. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was I have to look and see. I don't know if they paid the pizza place directly or if they paid somebody else who was willing to get the pizza as an intermediary. I don't know. Lisa's got a good point. You got to fix your hair and makeup. Obviously, I do every time I come on, right?
Actually, you're well groomed today. Like you got
my hair back.
you got this nice, nice well shavedness going. I look like a homeless man. This is scraggly, and this is halfway bushy, and this looks like crap. So yeah. No, nobody grooms themselves before this show, aside from the cat, apparently, who's just grooming himself excessively back there.
David, did you know that you get paid out with rewards just for existing on Den? And there's a snapshot saying every day how much of that's been paid out to people?
I do know that.
There's this thing called staking or farming in the crypto world. And usually you got to do something. But what we do in Den is we automatically stake stuff for you.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I'm just saying that because I found it in the post.
Pretty neat little thing that they do. Let's see.
Where's this?
Papa John's. Apparently it was Papa John's.
Oh, Papa John's. Well, they're
doing fine.
Doing fine. Yeah.
Couldn't have bought pizza from like a small place.
So yeah, you actually get paid out lore for there's some more things too that aren't implemented yet, but just holding matter or lot or even lore. So the lore that you get also gets lore. So you can lore while you lore.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you can lore while you lore and then make lore.
And then that lore is what you use to vote over in the LCP. Which I guess the proposal phase will be why I'm away. So I have to think if I want anybody to propose something for me while I'm gone.
Oh, they paid a guy in England who paid Papa John's for the pizza. So that guy in England made out like a bandit.
Nice. That makes sense because you can just do it online. And so if you order through them and they just order online and send it to your address and pays for it, then there you go. That's a good point. Here's that conspiracy theories layer. You were asking if you could just buy this. So the way that you do that is you have to wait until the next LCP and you have to wait until that voting phase ends to where the clock hits 0 again. And then that'll be on like a Monday night or a Tuesday morning. And then you wait from between then and through the next Monday morning, so through the weekend, there's a window of opportunity where you can purchase, pay a fee to make one of the layers that didn't win. And you can do that in a couple of ways. You can either do it by going over to the unique voters category, and it's the closer you are to the top, the cheaper it is to do it. So natural health is runner up. So it would have been 200 matter as the fee to pay.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's like 2, 3, 4, and something more.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
2, 4, 6. That's right. Yeah.
So the 5 runners up. Now, if the one you want, which we did for example, we did this for the tutorials layer that we need to make more tutorials for. If you go down the list and there's one that isn't close to the top. So after the 5 runners up, that's it. That's the cutoff. After that, it bumps up from 1,000 to 2,500. And that's for anything all the way down to a minimum of 8 unique voters. So if there's at least 8 unique voters, then you can pay 2,500 matter to create it. Which is interesting.
What is Wizards and Wands?
It sounds like Harry Potter to me. Yeah, Harry Potter.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, there's a Harry Potter game coming out soon, and I'm really excited for it.
There's a Harry Potter game coming out. There's a Lord of the Rings TV show coming out. There's
about that.
There's a Game of Thrones TV show coming out in August. I think 21st. There's what else is going on? Who else is doing? I saw there's a new Danger Mouse. You ever watch Danger Mouse, the cartoon?
I forgot all about Danger Mouse. There's a new one?
There's a Netflix has a Danger Mouse.
That's funny. Okay.
You know, so yeah, there's some cool stuff being made.
I saw there's a Dungeons and Dragons movie apparently coming out. Yeah, it looks like it has nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons in any way, shape, or form. But it kind of looks like it'll be okay. It's got Chris Pine in it, so
yeah, the gaming thing it's hit and miss and mostly miss. You know, as long as like Ball is not directing it, or they don't try to do something like like in the Doom movie, which the FPF scene was funny but gimmicky and I don't know. There's been a bunch of failed attempts at implementing a gaming film, but there's been a bunch of wins too. Like, there's another one. Netflix has a Resident Evil TV show now, which is pretty good.
I saw that.
I just
I haven't
watched the
seen the
first
show
season.
yet, but I should watch the
Oh
season of it.
yeah, the Marvel stuff. I don't know if you follow Marvel, and I don't know if
Nope.
this is fake or not, but I saw something about the other 48 states where each movie is about a state. So there's the first one, of course, is Florida. And then here, let's look it up.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I don't know if it was fake or if it was real or what, but Marvel, the other 48. Is this it?
That
This
is a
about
character called the Other.
the other. Okay. Maybe it's a joke. I don't know. Images, save search is off. Let me turn that on. And then I'll search for images. No, maybe it's just something I saw on the internet. But it was like going through the states. I don't know. I never read the comics. So I get to experience this as a first time consumer of the comics, which is interesting. It probably means I like it a lot more than if I had read the comics and then been like, oh, this is not how it's supposed to be.
That's the thing that everybody seems to be mad about with those movies is when they've read the comics their whole life and they're just like, they changed everything and it's bad.
Yeah, and if I don't know that because I never read the comics, I'm like, cool. Well, this version is great. I guess I can go read the comics and get even more.
It's like,
That's
oh,
how I
maybe
feel
this will be
about
good now.
making film. Films. Like if you do a remake of a movie and it's not exactly like it was, in the one that was made 20 years ago. People get mad about that. This is not how it was supposed to be. Like, well, you know what? You can still watch that movie. It still exists. The movie you want already exists.
Yeah, it's like you didn't have to pay to come see it either.
Yeah.
You probably own it like 5 times in various different ways.
So
That always
reimagining a
bothers me
story, I
too.
think, is totally fine.
See, that's why they need to stop calling them remasters or like remakes, and they need to just be like, reimaginings. That'd be a better way to word it.
And then, speaking of remakes, Final Fantasy VII Remake is fantastic. It's I would even go so far as to say that it is as perfect as the original. But there's a bunch of differences in there. But it's a remake in a way that it's remade with exactly the same spirit, in a way that if the technology of today did exist at the time when they were making it, obviously they would have probably made it this way.
It's just the game you would have gotten then.
Yes, right. And so that's a remake. And then I see other studios saying that they have a remake coming out, but it's like it's like an HD remaster. It's not a remake at all. It's like, oh, you changed the skins. You put an HD texture pack in there. Now it's a remake. No, dude.
You did what the modders already did, and they did it better than you, and then you cease and desisted them probably. So.
Right. Like if you remade Fallout New Vegas, right, you would probably get something close to what Fallout New Vegas with that one Wabbajack pack is.
Yeah, with a modded pack.
Yeah, right.
You just get something that looks like it's the thing that drives me nuts about games like that have major mod communities is when they try to do remasters. Like Rockstar is the biggest pain in the ass with that when they did the whole remake of GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, and they sent the same development team that did like the mobile versions of the game, and they ported over the mobile versions and then remastered those. And by doing that, they just had like an AI upscale some textures, and it was really bad. It was one of the worst releases done. It was even removed from sale for one point.
And then you have
they cease and desisted modders.
Yeah, isn't that stupid, man?
Yeah, they cease and desisted mod packs.
Yeah, what?
Thanks Bethesda for not doing shit like that most of the time.
Have you seen the AI backgrounds for Final Fantasy VII? Before the remake. So the original artwork, here we go. The original artwork was lost or something. And so for some reason they could not go back in and bring in the higher resolution version. But through I can't talk today. Before AI they couldn't do this. And this was also before the remake. And so before the remake came out, there was this effort to regenerate all of the backgrounds with AI. And
Yeah, I
some of the
saw.
results pretty fantastic.
So they did this with Final Fantasy VII, and it was branched off of this Final Fantasy IX mod, and like it looks incredible. The last time I played through Final Fantasy IX, I used this like upscale version, and it looked amazing.
Let's find a side by side of because the most dramatic one that I saw was this one. This is Eris's house here.
Oh my god!
And there's a much better one. Where's the side?
Go to their website.
Oh, that's a good point. I went to view file. I want to
go to their website, not PC Gamer's website.
It's the same damn thing I just looked at, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dang it! That picture's not even in here. What are you doing to me? Why?
Go to the website.
I did.
No, that's PC Gamer. How do you not know how to use it?
Right here, I clicked on.
No. Go back. Go back to where you were.
What are you
now
talking about?
Go to the place where it's hosted.
I don't know who does that.
I give up.
Oh, the place where the image is hosted.
The place where the mod pack is hosted.
Oh, I don't know about that, David.
Oh my god, where did you go from there?
I was just trying to see if I could go to the website where that image was hosted.
You were such a little hacker at
it's
the end of the day.
Here.
Oh, I like it. That's a good place. That's a nice spot there.
I don't know. Anyway, there's a really good image where it's side by side. And let's see. Let's do AI background. I'll call her Aerith, I guess. Garden side by side. And see if that gets me anywhere. Nope. I don't care anymore. I'm over it. Go look it up yourself. Make a post on Den if you want. But it looks great. But
go look it up yourself.
My only point is they came out with a remake and it's way better. And they could have just, I feel like all that hard work. I wonder if it feels bad to be like, man, like we did all this and then you went and remade it yourself.
Honestly, I don't know if I would be able to go back and play the older Final Fantasy VII at this point, now that I've looked into how good the damn remaster looks.
I'm playing through hard mode right now.
You see, but also I can't get behind buying a not complete product. So I've got to wait until
you'd be surprised. So it is 1/3 of the game for sure. But it is not the same Midgar experience. You get to see so much more of Midgar. And spoiler alert, once you finish the first part, the first installment, you get a new game mode called hard mode unlocked, where you can then go back through and replay through the chapters. And there's even more stuff. Sometimes there's things that are only in hard mode. And you when you play through it on hard mode, you don't get to use any items. No potions, no ether, no Phoenix down, no nothing. Nothing.
Holy shit! Is it still turn-based?
It can be if you want to make it that way.
Okay.
There is one for like the hardline turn-based people, but I would say learn the new system, because once you learn the new system, it is beautiful.
Apparently, it's great.
Nothing like what I thought it was going to be. I was afraid it was going to be like Final Fantasy 15, which was like a corridor shooter for the most of the game. But no, it's very fluid. It's very interesting. What was I saying? Oh, and then so hard mode, you do get to bring everything back with you. It's like a new game plus, where you have all of your materia, you have all of your weapons, you have everything you've gotten through playing through Midgar the first time. It ends in the same exact place that the first disc on the PS1 ends, where you have the motorcycle, and you're swatting people off like flies.
Yeah.
So then you launch off the end and you go out of Midgar. That's where it still ends there. But then New Game Plus, you come back and you have to really, really learn how to use the tactics and the strategy and stuff like that. Because now it's like, okay, I got to think about what my kit is like, what I'm wearing, what weapons I have, what material I have slotted, how that affects me, because now I don't have items, right? So I got to make sure I have this and that. It makes you think about what accessories you're wearing. Like there's earrings that'll auto revive you, which is great to have if you don't have cool. And the weapons themselves, did you play Final Fantasy X with the sphere grid?
Yes.
So each individual weapon has basically a sphere grid where you can you can make it like, okay, you level up your weapon. So you can literally use the Buster Sword now through the whole game if you want, because you can keep leveling up the Buster Sword.
That's kind of neat.
Or so you take that, and then really I think it's preparing you for the open world. Because if you remember, Disc 1 is Midgar.
Yep.
And Midgar is very closed down. It's very in the hallway. It's very, you got to go here, you got to go there. And then after playing that for hours and hours and hours, the magic that happens is kind of like the tunnel save for a Bethesda game, where you have the beginning mode and then it just opens up this world. It's like, holy crap. All of that is just a fraction of now what's out there. So anyway, point is, you get to learn how to use materia way more better.
Way more better.
There's even, and I haven't played it yet, but there's already a DLC with Yuffie, where there is there's one reference already before you play the DLC, where if you listen to people talking, it's really, really real. Like, it's people talking about Avalanche based on what the news media has told them to believe. There's people talking about, there's like all kinds of stuff, just like all the little touches. And one of the things you learn about is other branches of Avalanche, right? Barrett's tribe is kind of like a breakaway faction of Avalanche. And so the Yuffie DLC is where, and you hear rumors about this in the game. People are like, oh, I hear that Wu Tai has made a deal, an alliance with Avalanche or something like that, So in the DLC, you get Yuffie. Yuffie goes to Midgar. And there's this whole story about Wu Tai and Avalanche, like the other branches of Avalanche and stuff. So you really, really get to experience Midgar in a way that you never have before while you're waiting on the rest of the game. So that's why I think that it's fine, personally. So they're going to have the next two. They're going to roll in. They're going to roll in the events of what was the PSP Final Fantasy VII game? Anyway, they're rolling in the story from that.
It was like I don't remember. It wasn't the Chronicles one. That was Chrono Cross.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think they're doing it right. They're taking all of the lore from all the stuff, and they're filling in gaps where it makes sense, and they're packaging it and they're selling it and they're splitting it into 3 games. So yeah,
if only. But do I have hoof hands? But where are my hoof hands?
Yeah,
I liked my hoof hands.
Yeah, they're like literally a square.
They are literally. It's like a freaking pentagon on your hand. Just yeah. Well, I think that's that. I gotta get to work.
So too. Yeah, I gotta go do stuff that's it's not sitting around talking about this. I will say that the intro movie is exactly the same almost, except a lot better. They've added a bunch of stuff.
That it's the same thing. I would just like a decent HD remaster of Final Fantasy IX, but one day. The more I talk about this, the more I want to play 9 again. There's a project that I'm kind of like, I don't know, sort of sitting in on and trying to help where I can, as far as like with experience from games and what they might build and stuff. And a lot of the conversation comes back to games we've all played before. And one of them is Final Fantasy IX, which is, it got a bad rap because of the way they went with the animation style, and people didn't like it after Final Fantasy VII. And then they went back to that for Final Fantasy 10, I guess, because of it. But 9 is such a freaking perfect game. It's so
See how alive this looks in Midgar here?
Wild.
Yeah. So playing the games like this isn't just a cinematic. Everything's alive. Everything's bustling. The individual people have their own lives. They have their own problems. They have things that you'll hear them talking about, where they're like, defending Shinra, for example. And they're defending Shinra because of the propaganda they've read. We're like, oh, Shinra's good for your health or whatever, that kind of thing.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's really good.
Well, so, okay, maybe I have to do that. Well, on that dystopian note.
Hey, thanks everyone. I'm going to go through and finish the spreadsheet that I've got. That's going to end up being the lot holders for the new lair. That means, talk to you later. Hit the road. We're done too, Lisa. Thanks for sticking around for a minute. So you will all be owners of the show, which means the better that we do, the better rewards come out of that. So we can start talking about some marketing, and maybe we'll throw it up on different platform as well, turning it into a proper podcast or whatever. You don't have to. It's just fine. I mean, don't get me wrong. But
I'm fine with moving us around places. The more people that we can, complain about things, the better.
And the cool thing with having everybody as owners is everybody can propose something that they think is a good idea. And then maybe we wouldn't have thought about it, and then everybody can vote on it. And it's sort of this asynchronous collaboration where everyone's in different time zones, but everyone gets to participate too.
But we already have such good participation with a lot of our our average people that come in. And
I do appreciate it. Yeah, it definitely. This show I love doing just because I like the feedback. I like talking about Den. Obviously, I like talking to you about what's going on in the world. So, yeah,
it's a pleasant Wednesday morning for me as well.
Coffee Show V2 will be fantastic. Oh, last question. Let me bring my screen back up. What should the URL slug be?
The URL slug.
Gaming is /gaming. So we could be /coffee. We could be because if we did /coffee, we could all still own that, but then it's a coffee layer. And you could post stuff about coffee in there that has nothing to do with the show if you want. That kind of thing. Or we can do Coffee with Den, to where it's just like World Blockchain Roundtable. So it would be CWD or Coffee with Den.
CWD. Honestly, yeah. I like this. I like CWD.
Or if you wanted to be cheesy, it could even be Covfefe layer. And then the display name could still say Coffee with Den, but the actual URL slug would be /Covfefe forever. So just food for thought.
Oh my God, I want to do that so bad, but the forever term.
Yeah, just like the all things cannabis layer is not /all things cannabis, it's /420. So you can make it slug whatever you want.
I've still never seen a more perfect banner anywhere on the internet than the Anybody Got a Minute.
Anybody got a minute?
It's my favorite. It is genuinely my favorite. Whoever made that, hats off to you. But on that note, I got to go to work, y'all.
Yeah, me too, man. I got to do stuff. I got a calendar of things that I'm probably late on, so I'll go do that now. I got an 11:30, so I'm not late, but I'm not there either.
Oh God, yeah, get out of here. Go, shoot.
All right, well, thanks again. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks, man. Not going to be here next week. Not going to be here the week after. August 17th, we'll be back, and we'll be back. You won't be there. Yeah, there you go.
Location. I don't know. Maybe one of the times that you're not on the show, me and John will figure out a way to make like something stupid. It'll be fun.
We'll see. All right. Thanks again. Bye, y'all. Have a good one. Happy day. All the things.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best. Adaptable, raw capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible. But that conclusion is laughable, so with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now?